Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, a lot of you who follow this channel routinely would have heard me say that Malam Buhari is held hostage mentally by the people that he surrounds himself with. So Malam Buhari surrounds himself with people from his tribe and his religion, and it is those exact two things that these people used to hold him hostage. Guys, I bring you this. Answers: Buhari is the target. Ex-Nasarawa governor Adamu. So you can see already that they are already trying to repackage this answers to feed more into his paranoia, and once they feed into that paranoia, they surround him and close his mind even more, and they then launch him against the south to continue to pelt at them as they continue to loot the dollars. And the strategy again plays out in this narrative that I'm about to bring you. Headline again: answers: Buhari is the target. Ex-Nasarawa governor Adamu. So now let's now see what sleight of hand is being played by this fella. Abdullahi Adamu, a former Nasarawa state governor, has stated that NSAS protest was targeted at President Muhammadu Buhari. The senator representing Nasarawa West Senatorial District said this in an interview recently. He also spoke at the meeting in Kaduna, attended by the northern elders, governors, traditional rulers, and others. Adamu suggested that the NSAS was another plot to destabilize Nigeria after the alleged initial attempt with labor strike failed. He accused some prominent Nigerians of plotting against the government and that their prophecy of doom became manifest with the NSAS protest. Some people somewhere who had ulterior motives against the government wanted to use the labor strike against the government to foment trouble and destabilize the country. Fortunately, the negotiation between labor and the government was successful, leading to Labour calling off their intended strike. The Senate Committee Chairman on Agriculture and Rural Development said he would not mention individual names for now. Adamu disclosed that the Kaduna meeting was called due to some machinations against northern interest in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One of us is the president today, and you will never see this kind of nonsense when a non-northerner is there. I am sorry and regret to say this, but that is the reality and the truth. He noted that there was no big deal about the parley, stressing that Afenifere or Haneze Indigbo and other groups meet. So this is we have to dissect this. So we dissect it as starting from the top. So this chap would have it be the case that the NSAS protest was a politically motivated protest, a politically motivated movement that is having the underpinnings of prominent politicians who are set to destabilize the country. So this is the narrative that this guy is presenting, that there are shadowy figures, there are puppeteer hands under the doll of the NSAS protest, maneuvering things in the shadows. So this is the conspiracy theory that he will have you have. Now the contrast argument to that is that the NSAS protest is a manifestation of an organic implosion and an explosion within the people who have been pushed to the wall and can no longer see a way out other than to lash out against the government of the day. So you would recall, of course, that the NSAS protest came just after the government announced 100% increase in petrol and electricity tariffs, and already the country was already in a bad shape, to the point that the international finances have described it as the poverty capital of the world. So on top of that poverty, then they are now just by fiat imposing 100% tariff increase on the two most essential things that affect the lives and living and well-being of virtually every Nigerian, because electricity and more especially petrol, it affects the life and well-being of every Nigerian. If they increase the price of petrol by 100%, the transporters are not going to bear the burden of that and carry on at the same price that they were charging. No, they would increase almost instantly their own charges, their fares, by that 100%. The nice ones will do it by 100%, but you know Nigeria, they'll probably increase it by 200%, etc. So just from waking up one morning from the sleep of the previous day, your expenses has suddenly gone up by 100%, and that expenses going up by 100% is weighing down on a budget that cannot really sustain you in the first place. So now that of course will trigger anybody to lash out. So that is one reasoning for the NSAS protest. But this now guy, a Hausa Fulani man, is telling the Hausa Fulani president, who he knows has a leaning towards paranoias when it comes to religion and tribe, that what underpins those riots, those demonstrations that we saw all over the country, was essentially tribe and religion. So this is the coloration that is giving it. This is, at least politics is what is giving that, but of course there are undertones of tribe and religion in this, because of course there are mentions of Ohaneze and Aferi, etc. But of course this gentleman, this Abdullahi Adamu, former Nasarawa state governor, but of course this gentleman understands fully the reasons why NSAS took place, and he dropped a hint. He gave himself away in some of the comments that he made. He said first they tried to use the labor union, and when that did not succeed, they then used people on the street to demonstrate. So why were the labor unions negotiating with the government? Why were the labor unions in discussion with the government? The labor union were in discussions with the government for essentially what I've just explained, that 100% hike in petrol and electricity. So if that is the thing that has led to this negotiation, and he then has that understanding to link that labor negotiation to now these demonstrations that we're seeing on the street, then surely that then tells him that what really underpins this is the increase in petrol and the increase in electricity. So he has already hinted by a slip of tongue or whatever that he understands fully why this thing has happened. But then of course he has to speak to the language that his principal understands, and the language that his principal, which is of course Malam Buhari, understands, is tribe and religion. So he's giving it that coloration now of tribe and religion, and that coloration of tribe and religion goes even further when they had this meeting of their collectives in Kaduna. So who were the people there? The northern governors, the northern this and the northern that. The IGP was there too, by the way. The Senate leader was there. So he is now saying that they are having this sectarian meeting, and he is now trying to justify it that in other regions of the country they also have their groupings. They have their Fenifere, they have the Ohanese. But then I have never yet heard, and it might have happened but not to my knowledge, I have never yet heard of the Inspector General of Police, the Senate President, etc., attending Afenifere meetings or Ohanese meetings. But then of course they were present at their meeting, because of course the I mean, it's almost not it's an open secret really. They are unspoken words, but the understanding is there for everybody to see, and the visuals are there for everybody to see. These people, the northerners, they see themselves as a unitary group. Within themselves, of course, they are subdivided, but they act as one, and they weigh against the south for three main reasons really. The key reason is the Niger Delta oil wealth. We all know that they are all after the oil fields in the Niger Delta. And just imagine how stupendously rich the average Fulani person is. So that is not that is an aberration within that space. That is not the norm, and that is not the lifestyle that is of his origin or his evolution. And if you want to know how a Fulani man should live, then you go to Niger Republic and you see how they live. So the difference between the Fulani man in Niger Republic, who is living a sedentary life, till the soil and harvest and husbandry, animal husbandry life. If you look at that lifestyle that the Fulani man lives in Niger Republic, or that same lifestyle that the Fulani man also lives in Chad, and you contrast that with the international life that the Fulani man in Nigeria lives, Dubai today, London tomorrow, quickly go to New York for shopping and back again. This is the lifestyle that the Nigerian Fulani lives. So the dichotomy, the distinction, what separates those two lifestyles is the Niger Delta oil fields. That is the only thing, and that is the only thing that they are focused on. Because, of course, remove the Niger Delta oil wealth, and the northern Fulani man in Nigeria would live a life no different than the Fulani man in Niger Republic, in Chad, etc., Burkina Faso, or wherever it is that they are. He would live that same life, you know, that dusty life of just rolling cattle up and down and eating where you can and giving your life to the cows. So this is the lifestyle of the Fulanis in Niger, in Chad, etc. And this, of course, is the evolution of the Fulanis. So that is the first thing. And the second thing, of course, now is now they want to cascade through the whole of Nigeria, because, of course, so long as there's still agitations within the Yoruba and Igbo land for a better country, they cannot rest easy on that oil wealth. So this Buhari opportunity now, they're just using it to cascade into this. Anyway, there's a lot of narratives there. I don't want to go too conspiratorial, but of course, you know, the narrative, the writing is on the wall. It's easy to see, and we all know what is going on. And these people now, they need to be able to consistently and permanently hold Buhari in that state of flux, of panicking in terms of religion and tribe, so that they can continue their looting and actualize their plans. Come share thought about all this in the comment section with me. Do you have a different theory from the one that I have just preferred? Let me hear all about it in the comment section. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come join me then in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of what this chap is saying, that the NSAS protest was targeted at Malam Buhari. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.